Yo, what's up, guys? This is Earl Sports Bets coming with a brand new channel, and this is the first video of the channel. So let's try to start it off with a banger. Heading into week 10, I have 10 teams, 5 buys, 5 sells for NFL betting and uh, market ideas for these 5 teams on each. Now, my idea behind these is I want to get some of these teams coming off a few losses where their stock is low. People will probably be betting against them. And then for the sells, I have a couple teams coming off a couple wins and stuff like that, where I'm expecting some negative regression and some betting to go on to that team that's been on a hot streak. So let's get right into it. The first team I want to talk about for teams to buy is the Indianapolis Colts. They have not been looking good, or they've been looking okay lately. But after the 24-10 loss to Baltimore, people may be a little bit down on them. Phillip Rivers hasn't been looking the greatest this year, but I think this is a team that'll definitely have a good second half of the year, and it's a team to look to buy a little bit low here. They're not rock bottom low because they've won 2 of their last 3 games, and 5 of their last 7, but they are definitely a team to look to potentially buy. I'm looking to possibly bet them on Thursday night against the Titans, but the Colts are definitely a team to look onto because they have a really strong defense, and that's kind of what I want to look to be betting here are good defenses, and the Colts definitely have that. The next team we have here is the LA Chargers. Yes, they've lost 6 of their last 7, but all of those 6 losses are by less than 7 points each. And I'm looking for some positive regression to come from Justin Herbert and this LA Chargers team. They won week 1, 16-13. All their games have been within 7 points, other than their 10-point win other than their 10-point win against Jacksonville. Their losses 36-21 against the Raiders, 31-30. They were leading in that game. They were leading in the Raiders game. They were leading in the Saints game. They lost by 3 in overtime. They were leading against the Buccaneers. They lost by 7. And then the only game they weren't leading in that they've lost this year was the Carolina game, and they lost 21-16. But they were also leading against the Chiefs, and they ended up winning that or losing that game by 3 points. So I'm definitely expecting some positive regression coming from this LA Chargers team. It's definitely a buy team. I think this is definitely a team that has the talent to go 6-2 and finish 8-8 this season, or something along those lines. So for the futures, or not for futures, but for future weeks, I'll most likely be looking to buy the Chargers because I think people will be a little bit down on them. Just like this next team, the Chicago Bears. Once again, they're kind of similar to Indianapolis. I like their defense. They're just struggling to score points, but I'm expecting a little bit better from them the next few weeks. So far, and then they've lost their last 3 games, so this is kind of like a bottom type of buy to get them to buy low, and then hopefully they go up with 3 straight losses against the Rams, the Saints, and the Titans. 3 pretty good teams, so no bad teams they're losing to here. But this is definitely a team that's going to be led by their defense, and I like betting on good defenses. It's just a tough thing to bet on the Bears that they can't score points. But with that being said, I am looking to try to buy the Bears when they're low, and then hopefully their stock will rise here. And trying to bet them. Another team where this team is an example of they are better than their record. Joe Burrow has looked great this year for the Bengals. I think this team can definitely start to turn it around a little bit here. They've had some close calls. Other than the Baltimore Raven game, they lost by 3 to the Browns, 4 to the Colts. They tied with the Eagles. They just beat the Tennessee Titans. So the Bengals are a team where I think they are definitely better than their record shows, and a team that I might be looking to maybe even this upcoming week. They're playing the Steelers, and they're a 10-point dog. It's definitely something I'm looking to bet, especially with backdoor Burrow. The Bengals are definitely a team I want to look to bet in these next future weeks, along with the New York Football Giants. They have been looking a lot better lately. And if it wasn't for a last-second loss against the Eagles, we may be looking at a team competing for first place in the NFC East. I think they're still in contention. Their defense has been looking much better lately. They forced 5 turnovers yesterday against the Washington football team. And if Daniel Jones can learn to not turn the ball over here in these next few weeks, there's definitely some potential here for the New York Giants to maybe compete for the NFC East title here. A team I'm definitely looking to buy low or to buy right now because I definitely see some potential with them with their defense looking better and all that. Now onto the teams that I'm looking to sell. Before I click onto these, some of these are their stock is as high as they'll ever be, and I'm just looking to, now that the public is most likely going to be on them, looking to bet against them because the lines I think will be a little bit inflated for the weeks to come. Now these are my teams to sell. I know you're seeing this first team right here, Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, I'm aware they're undefeated. Yes, they are probably one of the best teams in the NFL. But I think the public is going to pick up on that. And I think you're going to find value in betting against the Steelers, at least with betting spreads. I think especially starting this week against the Bengals, where I think they're 10-point favorites. But yes, I'm aware that they're 8-0. They struggled to beat Dallas last week. They just came off of a war against Baltimore the week before that, and they barely hung on to. It took a Stephen Gostkowski missed field goal in order to beat the Titans there without going to overtime. So the Steelers, yes, they've been winning games, but their stock in my head has been going down a little bit just because they've been struggling to finish off games here. Where they let their opponent in, or for Baltimore, they let them rush for over 200 yards. In Dallas, they were up basically the whole game. So the Steelers are a team I'm looking to sell at their absolute peak right now, and maybe bet against them the next couple of weeks. And I think that the public is going to be enamored with this Pittsburgh Steelers team, and I'm not feeling it. I'm especially this upcoming week against the Bengals. So Pittsburgh is definitely a team where I think their value is going to be a little bit too high that the betting markets think they are. Next is the Minnesota Vikings. They have been on fire the last 2 weeks. Dalvin Cook's been running like he's on crack, and they've been playing really well. Granted, it was against Detroit last week, but Green Bay the week before. I think this team is getting a lot of attention. They played Seattle really close 4 weeks ago, and this team has definitely been looking better, but I think this is as high as their stock will get. Minnesota is a team I'm looking to sell. I think Dalvin Cook is going to regress back to a norm. I don't think he's going to be ripping off 200-yard games, which is exactly what the Vikings have been needing these last few weeks to get the wins. So Vikings are a team I am looking to sell when their stock is really high right now. Next is the Miami Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa. He's not looked half bad so far in the NFL, leading them to a 34-31 win. A lot of people are very excited about Tua Tagovailoa, and honestly, I can probably see that in the market here. Let's see if I can get sports. Let's see if I can get the lines up for this next upcoming week here for the Dolphins, where now they're favorites against the Chargers. And they have a lot of momentum. Chargers are coming in. So maybe this week is a bad example, but I think Tua versus Hubbard, that's going to be a fun matchup. But this Dolphins team, they're looking really good right now. They're playing really good defense. And they're just looking really, really good. They've won 4 straight and 5 of their last 6. They're only lost to Seattle. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm definitely I think we're gonna see some regression from this team. And I think that the public is still going to be super heavy on this Dolphins team out there, loving to bet Miami here. with Tua and all that. And I think my bet's going to be on the Chargers this week. Next is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I know last night they got absolutely obliterated 38-3 by another team on the sell list. And before that, they should have lost against the Giants. And and then they lost 38-3 against the Saints. I think and looking at Tom Brady play last night, he did not look good whatsoever, and he started to struggle around this time last year as well. So I think Tom Brady's arm is going to start to die here in the later of the year, and the Buccaneers are going to be a team to bet against. I think, not completely a bet against team, but if we look here, they're playing. Who are they playing this week? Buccaneers. They're playing the Panthers, which are actually not a bad team this year. But Buccaneers just look bad right now. They got smoked last night. That may be a little bit of an overreaction, but I think this is a time to sell them when people are thinking that it's maybe a bounce back spot for Brady this week or something along those lines. The Buccaneers are a team I'm looking to fade and sell. And the New Orleans Saints is the last team I want to talk about here. I know that might be really surprising that they're on this list after a 38-3 win. And if you look at this list, other than Tampa Bay, all these teams won their last game. So I'm trying to see the recency bias is something I'm looking at. Saints have won 5 straight games. They're 6-2 on the year. They swept the Buccaneers. They're looking really good, but they barely edged out a win against Chicago in overtime. They barely edged out a win against Carolina. They barely edged out a win against the Chargers. And they had to come back against the Detroit Lions. This team has been playing really close games, and I would not be surprised if this team starts to regress a little bit. Drew Brees is up there in age, and I'm not saying he's bad at all, but I wouldn't be surprised if this team starts to regress and not look as good as it has the last 5 weeks. And they've been playing super close games that they've been down a decent chunk in a few times. So just something I'm looking to fade a little bit probably in the next few weeks is the New Orleans Saints. So for my to basically wrap it up, my teams to buy: Colts, Chargers, Bears, Bengals, Giants. And then teams to sell or fade are the Steelers, Vikings, Dolphins, Buccaneers, and Saints. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with my picks here and my analysis here in the comment section below. Let me know who you have as teams to buy, who do you have as teams to sell. Did I get any of these wrong? But that is going to do it for this video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.